voting tomorrow on an important bill, and what Congress is doing to revive the stimulus package. I have all the details for you in this video. Let's get right into it. But quickly before we do, if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. Information continues to change very, very rapidly right now. I'm watching everything closely. I'm breaking it all down in these short videos, which I deliver a couple times each and every day so that you can get the latest details hot off the wire as this information is being released. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the update. All right, so let's quickly talk about what Congress will be voting on tomorrow. Then we can talk about what Congress is doing to revive the stimulus package. All right, so first things first. Congress will be voting on the full year spending bill, which happens to be the $1.5 trillion spending bill that we've been talking about for several weeks now. According to what they're saying, they're going to be voting on this tomorrow. However, for some reason, if they don't vote on it tomorrow, don't worry, they'll be back right away on Friday to vote on this thing. Which, by the way, Friday happens to be the very last day where they can vote on this thing before we potentially go into a government shutdown at the end of the day on Friday. So anyway, just wanted to point that out so that we're all on the same page so we can see how Congress waits and really runs the clock out essentially on all of this stuff, right? So anyway, just wanted to point that out just so that we all understand where we are currently sitting with Congress right now. Anyway, so they will be voting on this tomorrow according to what they've been saying. However, there have been a few changes to this and a few of the pieces of the legislation that are attached to it that I'll quickly run through right here. So again, this whole bill is about $1.5 trillion. Again, we'll have to wait and see what the whole thing comes out at, but that's what the last estimate was that I saw. However, according to what I've also been talking about here over the last couple of days, there's also a couple pieces of legislation that are attached to it. The analogy that I've been using is a whale, right? A whale swimming through the ocean. That's the $1.5 trillion package. And then attached to it are these little things that I was calling through over the last couple of days here. I didn't know the name of them, but I was telling my wife this story, and she said, yeah, you know what? I think they're called barnacles. So I'm not really sure if that's what they're called, but we're going to go with the name barnacles going forward. All right, so that's what we're calling it. So we got the $1.5 trillion whale or package, and then we've got these little barnacles attached to it. So here's what they had previously. They had $10 billion set in there to go out to Ukraine, and they also had $22.5 billion in there for COVID. Well, those numbers have changed a little bit. Now they've adjusted it to $12 billion to go out to Ukraine, and at the same time, $15 billion for COVID. However, at the same time, we do have some lawmakers that are coming out right now saying no on the $15 billion for COVID. We still do not have an itemized report as far as where all that money went last year from the last COVID or from the last stimulus package, that $1.9 trillion package, the American Rescue Plan. So, which, by the way, we're coming up in just a couple days from right now, the 1-year anniversary from exactly when that package was signed into law by President Biden, which, just remember, that one contained those $1,400 stimulus checks. So yeah, a year ago is when we received those checks last. Anyway, just throwing it out there that those were the days, right? Wasn't that a nice time when we got that influx of $1,400? That sure helped. It didn't last long, let's be real, right? It came in one door and flowed right out the window, right on the other side, pretty quickly for a lot of us. But at the same time, sure did help a lot when it came in. Anyway, sure would be nice to get that once again. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. That's coming up here in just a couple days, the anniversary of when that bill was signed into law by the president. Anyway, just want to throw that out there. But anyway, so this new spending bill should be voted on tomorrow, and hopefully they'll get it passed. Otherwise, if they do not pass it tomorrow or they do not vote on it tomorrow, they'll be back right away on Friday. So it looks like we should be averting a government shutdown. No problems at all there, and I'll keep you posted on that as we do get more details. All right, so let's quickly talk about what Congress is now doing to revive the stimulus package or some of the provisions within it. So what they're actually doing now is they're looking at a few different elements or provisions within the previous stimulus package or Build Back Better agenda, whatever we want to call it now, and they're trying to pass through some of these. First off, Chuck Schumer was on the floor of the Senate today, and he also mentioned in regards to that spending bill that we just mentioned a second ago, or that we just talked about a second ago, he mentioned that one of the most important provisions within it, one of the most significant pieces within that, is the $15 billion for COVID. just in case another variant comes around. So I don't really know. I guess I'm really confused by that. But according to Chuck Schumer, he has said that one of the most important and significant pieces of that $1.5 trillion is the $15 billion for COVID. So I don't know. Again, just saying, but that's what he thinks is the most important part about it. I don't know. Anyway, just letting you know what Chuck Schumer was saying. So anyway, what Congress is currently doing right now to revive some of the pieces of the stimulus package is they're actually coming forward, and Chuck Schumer also mentioned this on the floor as well. They're looking at different things that they can do to help alleviate some of the pressures from inflation, right? Number one would be help lower utility and energy prices, as in for the low income and those individuals who are struggling with energy prices and utilities right now. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do right there as far as helping out with that. I'm not sure if it's going to be pumping more money into programs like the LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or if it's going to be like direct payments. Honestly, I'm not really sure what the deal is there, but they said they want to do things to help people who are struggling with utilities and energy right now during this very high inflationary period. So that's number one. They also are going to be dropping, this is huge, I'm really surprised by this, to be honest with you, they're going to be dropping the child tax credit payments. That's really big to me. I'm really surprised by that because this is one of the keystones. Is that even a word, keystones? I mean, I'm not really sure. This is one of the earmarks of the Build Back Better agenda and of the stimulus package, was to actually bring in and revitalize these child tax credit payments. These were the monthly payments going out. So they've said they want to drop these out of it. I'm a little bit shocked by that because this was a big one out there going out to about 36 to 38 million families. However, there was this new revised version of this that was actually introduced by Mitt Romney, which was going to be sending out $350 to those families who have a kid under the age 5, so 5 and younger, $350 per month. And for those people who have kids age 6 through 17, it'd be $250 a month for those people earning under $200,000 as an individual or $400,000 as a married couple. So again, I know that a lot of us here in the community are way below those income thresholds, but again, just want to throw it out there. This is the new revitalized one that they were talking about. But again, no promises on that one at all. That's just what's being tossed around right now. Also, they do want to add in there some funding for people to alleviate some of the pressures on childcare, as well as possibly putting some things in there for lowering the prices on prescriptions. So again, this is what they want to do as far as the stimulus package goes. But remember, this is the general framework of what they're discussing right now. But again, as I've discussed previously over the last couple of days here, they really need to thread the needle on this thing, because if they go too big, they're going to scare Joe Manchin away immediately, right? So they had to really thread the needle on this thing because they want to go as big as they possibly can. But at the same time, they also need to keep it relatively small so that Joe Manchin will still show his support on this. Now, this will be a reconciliation bill, according to what they've been saying out there and the details that I've been finding. This is the process that allows them to go through the Senate and just get the 50 votes that are required, plus the one tie-breaking vote from the vice president. So this would be the reconciliation process in which they want to get this done, where essentially they can add almost any pieces of legislation, of course, with the exception of a few. They can add almost any piece of legislation into the reconciliation bill and get it done with just a simple majority vote in the Senate, 50 plus the one tiebreaker. So we'll have to see what they do here going forward with this, but remember, this is the framework. As we continue to move forward and we get more inflation numbers, by the way, the inflation data will be released tomorrow morning. I'm very, anxious, I guess you could say, to see that one. Anxious, not in a good way, to see that report. I'm going to guess it's going to come out just shy of 8%. That's my anticipation. I'm going to guess 7.8 to 7.9% is what that's coming in at. Again, I'm no analyst, I'm no expert, but that's just my anticipation. We will see in just a matter of hours as that report is released tomorrow morning. But that's going to be the latest inflation data reading, data point that comes out, and we should be getting that information. And it's going to be a big one, and it's going to be serious going forward. But as they continue to work their way through this stimulus package, or stimulus provisions, whatever we want to call it these days, as they continue to work their way through this and negotiate on it, of course, I'll continue to keep you updated as we do get more information on that. it's going to be a very busy time right now. We've got a lot going on in Congress right now. They realize that people are struggling, but yet they're doing absolutely nothing about it. We've got pressures, literally global pressures all over the place coming in on us here in the United States, as well as oil prices going through the roof, gas prices going through the roof, prices on essentially everything going through the roof right now. So we've got the global conflict. I mean, seriously, there is so much going on right now. We've got a lot on our plate, but either way, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you navigate this time right now, which, by the way, thank you so much for the nice messages on those couple videos earlier today. There was a lot going on earlier. I broke it down in a couple short videos, 2 minutes and 3 minutes long, and I delivered those to you just to kind of give you the breaking information as it was being released. And some of you reached out with some really nice feedback on those videos. So I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, and I'm glad that you enjoyed those shorter versions like that. Honestly, I might be incorporating more of those going forward here simply because things are changing so incredibly fast right now. It's easier for me to just kind of sit down and just literally give you like 2 or 3 pieces of information as it is being released hot off the wire like that. Just a quick pump out a 2 or 3 minute video. I can do it relatively quickly, and some of you really like those shorter videos like that. So I appreciate it. I kind of liked it too, honestly. It kind of gave me a chance to just kind of sit down here, give you a really fast video, and it's hot, literally hot off the wire. I can usually turn those things around in about 20 minutes or so. From the time that I sit down here, record the video until the time it's up, it's usually about 20 minutes on those. So that's pretty quick. Anyway, I appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much on those, and maybe you'll see more of those coming up here over the coming days and weeks, because literally things are changing so incredibly fast right now. It's like almost hard to keep up with everything. So anyway, I'm here for you. I will keep you posted on those votes tomorrow. If they come in, if they don't worry. Congress will be back on Friday, and they'll be doing their thing. Maybe. Again, maybe. It's a big old maybe. It's always a maybe with Congress, right? Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thanks so much for your support. I truly do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 2,200 videos right here on the channel, and I'll keep you posted with everything going on during this very, very busy and confusing time. Thanks again. I appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I will catch you again later in the next update.